Peace and blessings. Assalamu alaikum. So, some of you already know me from my channel, which I have not been very active in. I would say, even though I started it a few years ago, it's a pretty new channel in the sense of the activity and the engagement from myself. I do tend to these days post a little bit more on Instagram, and we'll see what's meant to grow as far as my offerings and what it is that I want to share. My name is Hasna, and I am a Caribbean American woman in my origins. I was born in the States. I have lived overseas in various countries, usually for the purpose of studying Arabic, Islamic studies, spiritual studies, and wanting to just grow in those particular areas of my life in connection with Allah and I say for those who are not Muslim, for my with my not for my with my creator. And there's something in me that's always wanted to share that part of my life. And then there's this other aspect of me that I've been exploring, which has been in spiritual circles, creative circles, and seeing the connections and the parallels that bridge the different parts of myself, and how I can bridge different communities together and different awarenesses together and have projects that tap into all the aspects of who I am. This journey has been interesting because I've gotten to see how those attributes and those qualities that I've had, that I was sharing so much with my Muslim community, how th- there are there are many people who have benefited and told me that there was so much that they appreciated about what I was sharing, whether it was spiritual advice, whether it was nurturing with my hands, with massage and incorporating ruqya or Quranic recitation, and then some and more. This video in particular I'm making because I have come to this point where I realize I'm in these communities where people are very open, people are very fluid. There's not really a religious grounding or religious foundation for many, where something on the subject, for example, of relationships, they're going to reference back to a divine book or a religious scripture. And so many people are just having relationships that are based on the flow and the feeling, especially in this place where I am now. There's a energy of people seeking and searching and working on themselves, and in that process exploring um, different worlds, including that of, I would say, sacred sexuality. And so while I myself have not delved into that, I have talked to many people who do. And I've come to a point where I can see that there's beautiful aspects uh, that can be reminders to highlight the importance of connection and being present with yourself first, and also with your partner. And in the case of those who are Muslim and practicing, that would be your husband or your wife. But then I realized, well, I don't have a husband right now. And of course, for years, we've all known about these matrimonial websites. And I myself was married for 1 year. And in that time, I did not connect with my husband or my ex husband through those websites. But I had been on them, and I had been aware that, okay, this could be, it has potential. It's a possibility that you could actually, meet the love of your life, as people like to say. um I'm gonna cut this fan off, it's blowing. Okay, that's not working. Yeah, that you could possibly meet your partner online. Many people are doing it as we connect more and more, and it gives us options, it gives us possibilities. So I was on this one particular website, and within the past 2 weeks, I would say I spoke to two particular individuals. And I would love to make a video talking a bit about that experience and, yeah, what I learned in that time. I myself, I feel that there's a beauty in finding a partner for life. There's a beauty in having that deep connection, that you want to last until your soul leaves this body. However, I have a part of me that also recognizes that that's not something that's actually from my faith. My faith doesn't teach that you marry someone and it's like till death do you part. But you marry with an intention to complete your faith. You marry with an intention to build with this individual on that which is important for you in this life. And ideally, part of that would be your connection to your creator. And using the word worship, yeah, worshiping Allah. Worship is a evidence of or it's an action, or it's an inner or outer action that's connected to what we are devoted to. I mean, that's not the dictionary definition. I didn't look it up, but it's connected to what are we devoted to? What really matters to us in this life? What do we adore? What are we living by, living for? And I think that the actions, inner and outer, that are connected to that are a type of worship. So even if there's an individual that doesn't necessarily believe in a creator or a God, or doesn't even think about that, they're worshiping something. We may be worshiping the idea of ourself. We may be worshiping money. We may be worshiping what others' opinion is of us, and may be living according to the status quo and what our neighbors are doing or our community is doing. We may be worshiping celebrities. There's many different forms of worship. We may be worshiping an ideal physique. We may be worshiping a certain prestige, and that is our goal, and that is our focus, and that is what our mind goes back to, and that is what our rituals go back to. So our rituals are representative of that which matters to us and that which is important for us. So all that to say, we ideally want to connect with someone and be with someone who is supportive of that which we are devoted to and those rituals in our life, and the framework within which that was created. So in connection with that, I just received a message on this particular service that I am subscribed to, and the brother was actually mentioning how there was a project that needed someone who wrote well, and he saw that in my profile, my writing. He said, it seems that you're a very good writer. And the project actually has to do with rewriting different meanings in chapters of the Quran for children, because the way that it was written before, he said, was very outdated, and it wasn't something that the children could probably connect with. So he was volunteering with that, and was seeing whether or not I would be interested. And so I said to him, I have to look at my time, but yeah, I'm willing to talk more about the project, and definitely I feel like it's important for us in community to come together and to use our skills for something that's not just about this present moment, but that can be what we call a sadaqah jariyah. Sadaqah jariyah means, sadaqah, first of all, means charity, or like doing these good works. And jariyah is meaning that it's ongoing, it continues. It's something that even when you die, it's continuing. So to teach or share something beneficial for children, wow, it's actually something that I've thought about, as far as children's books, as far as different materials, and sharing that. So just turning so the fan is not blowing on my eyes, which are already a little bit dry right now. It's so different when you're using a camera, but you're looking, you see yourself, versus when a camera's just facing you and you don't see yourself. So what I wanted to say is, this idea came up, and I don't know what's going to become of it, but I thought to make this video, or to make a video actually, to share with people that are on this matrimonial website. And I wanted to say to them that we're not doing this right. What I'm saying is, there's all of this potential sitting on this site. People who have dreams, people who have goals, people who have talents. And I was thinking, okay, this person saw me, and or he saw what I wrote on my website. He doesn't really know me, hasn't heard me speak. We haven't even had a conversation yet. This literally just happened. But he's asking me to do something to help this ummah, to help this nation, to help the people to help some people. I'll just keep it simple. I won't go on and on. Just to help people in a way that is benefiting the soul, no less. So many romances, so many relationships start in the workplace, right? People working together, people building together on something. I think that this whole way of looking online and saying, so my name is this and I am from here and I love Islam and mashallah I studied overseas this many years and I memorized this and I want to be a righteous, good husband, wife, etc. And yeah, and I have some hobbies, and it just feels so unnatural. It feels unnatural. I understand that it's a doorway. It's just a way to open up possibility. But how many of you have actually met someone that if you had seen them written on paper or even saw a photograph, let's just be honest, there's people that in real life I've met them and they are very attractive. It's like their whole energy. I'm like, wow. I can think of someone in particular that I met years ago, and it was just something about his energy, his entire way of being, that I felt drawn. I was like, who is this person? He's very fascinating to me. Yet, when I saw his pictures afterward on Facebook, no, no, mm-mm, no. No, it just didn't look like him at all. Like it didn't capture the energy of who he was. It didn't capture the essence of what I felt, his vibe, not at all. And so when you have a site that, even if you see the photos of everyone right there, what does that even mean? And so I feel like there's a lot that can be, I mean, we can trust in, first of all, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Number one, if we ask our creator and we trust that أنا عند ظن عبدي بي, how Allah says in the Hadith Qudsi, I am to my servant as my servant thinks of me. And if you trust, Allah will bring me someone. Allah is going to connect me with the one that I can have a beautiful, halal, vibrant, connecting, juicy relationship where we're building in every way and where we feel nurtured and where our needs are met and then some. I believe Allah will give it to us. How many of us are actually approaching with that conviction? That's one question. But the next thing I want to say in regards to that is, okay, I do trust that. But no, not but. And with that, a website can be a means through which Allah can introduce you to your partner. At the same time, putting that aside, or still considering that, when you read a lot of what people are writing, it's so dry. Like, a lot of people, they have they have layers, they have dimensions, but maybe they don't do that. Maybe they don't express it in writing. Maybe they don't express it in that format. And maybe they're just intimidated by typing all this stuff out. Maybe they're just busy. Or maybe they would just want to see before they invest that time. What I'm saying is there a way, is there a possibility that we could connect and have a database of the people who are single? Yes. But somehow bring something more personal where people can work on projects together. They can see, well, what are you doing to grow or learn, or what do you want to share, or there's a project like this, can you contribute to that project? And in that way build some benefit beyond just self-promotion for the possibility of a partner, because it's a good possibility that most people will get a partner or get married. But there's also more elements and aspects of who we are and what we have to offer while we're in that process. So I don't know, but I'm putting this out there. Maybe I'll put some tags like single Muslim, Muslim project, ID. I don't know. I have no idea. I will develop this idea, maybe through video, maybe through talking, maybe through feedback. But I just see this kind of database or real community of people who happen to be single or open to marriage, even polygyny. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not opposed to polygyny. I am not opposed to marrying a man who has a wife. Why? First of all, it's from the Islam, it's halal, it's from human nature. I see also that men have, there's some men in this world that have the ability to love more than one woman, to really love more than one woman. I don't know if all of them can juggle the responsibility or handle responsibly the duties that that entails, but there can be some beauty to that type of relationship. There are some people in this world that one day with them is more beneficial than spending every day with someone else. 365 days, you will get more from that one person, maybe in 1 hour, in one day, than you would ever get from another person if you were with them for even 10 years. Think about that. And then when I translate that over into the reality that we do live in a world where there's more women than men, and we're not even talking about who, genders and what people are attracted to and all that. I'm just saying generally there are more women than men in this world. And then when we're talking about very conscious men, and then thinking about attraction, and then thinking about responsibilities and all of that, it's a lot to think about. And that's why I don't put it on myself. I'm not putting that on myself. I am not putting that on myself. I believe that there is one that can handle all of that and sort all of that for me. But my point is, I think there could be something really beautiful, and it's starting just with me and this person, and just the idea of them saying, "Wow, I see you have an ability. Now, I'm doing something. Would you like to contribute to that?" So I think I'm gonna rewrite my profile in and put those considerations in of, look, like these are my gifts, these are some of the projects and things that I want to work on, because maybe I won't marry that person, and maybe that person won't marry me. Another person, not the one I just mentioned. Maybe another person over there won't marry me, but maybe we could help each other in another way that is beneficial to this world, to this planet, to the communities. Maybe we have a skill set and we can put those together and have a business even. Why not? Maybe we could be doing some kind of series where we are, this is interesting. Yeah, where we're even interviewing other Muslims on marriage and being single, and and have like discussions on that, and like get into their soul, like who's the soul of this person? Are they willing to because what I really feel we need is a corresponding type of training, a type of training that really gets people on board to understand what it takes to have a successful relationship. And you have many experts and many people who are dealing with this. I don't know if we have that in the Muslim world. I don't know who is that person that really is known for working in that particular area of matching people together and understanding personalities, and also again getting people to the mindset to realize this ain't Hollywood. This is not a romantic comedy. It's not a rom-com. It's not a chick flick where everything that the man does is just so amazing, and the woman, oh, is so amazing, and everybody's just so amazing. And there's like some little issues that get resolved, and by the end everybody's just, oh, I have perfection. I have the perfect love. It's going to last forever and ever. You know what I mean? It's not that's not life. Now, it can be beautiful, but it's not going to have a soundtrack moving to the back of the beauty. And, to the beauty that's going on. You're not going to have a soundtrack as you walk down the road, as your eyes meet. That's not life. It would be kind of cool if it was. Like, could you imagine, you know, just like the soundtrack starts playing in the middle of your in the middle of your day or your experience? That would be really interesting. But that's not how it is. Okay? So, look, I'm just sharing. If this resonates with you, by all means, I think I'm going to be sharing these adventures of, considering people for marriage and relationship, partnership, and the corresponding thoughts and ideas that come from that. I think it's going to be fun. All right, take care for now. And like I said, if anything resonates with you, feel free to message. Feel free. Lots of love. Assalamu alaikum.